DIY gifts from your kitchen are always appreciated. And the trendiest one of 2020 is the hot cocoa bomb. In fact, I ordered my mold December 8th and it didn't arrive. So we're gonna be supplementing with something I found in a local kitchen store. I am making these for the first time. So you're seeing it here live on camera. I'm not gonna let these get the best of me, friends. Let's see how easy or not they are to make. For the most magical lifestyle tips, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. Callie and I love to bake and cook together. In fact, we used to have a series called Magical Menus here on YouTube where we recreated Disney-inspired meals. Perhaps you have seen our most recent fail video. Not this time, not this time. These chocolate bombs are gonna be perfect because they're also being used for Callie's preschool teachers' gifts, which I have to give them tomorrow. Let's talk about the materials that you're going to need today. So the most important material today is the hardest one to find, or at least for me was the hardest one to find. And it is a silicone spherical mold. Now, these guys are smaller than the traditional chocolate bomb mold, which I tried to find on Amazon. I ordered it and it said it had been lost. So I think they're really hard to find online right now. These are going to be much smaller, but I kind of think that's okay because I could put 2 or 3 together in a package. This is technically for ice cubes, for making spherical ice cubes, which I think will also be pretty. And I might put some cranberries in here with water and freeze them for Christmas dinner. So spherical mold, check. You are also going to need hot cocoa powder or like hot chocolate mix. I have this hot chocolate mix that's peppermint flavored. I'm very excited about this. I also have some sprinkles to go inside. These adorable marshmallow snowmen that I picked up at Target. You could, of course, not use any of these other extra details and just do hot cocoa, but I think it's really fun when they explode and there's fun things inside. And then I also have my dipping or melting chocolate, and I have some of my melting chocolate left over that's been in the freezer as well. Let's get started. The first thing you need to do is melt or temper your chocolate according to the package directions. Mine's just microwaving in 30-second increments until it is soft and melty. I'm stirring it to make sure that it doesn't burn in between every 30-second round. You want to make sure that it is relatively smooth and thick so that it is not over melted. So now it's time to put it into your mold. I wasn't entirely sure how much I should be putting in my mold, so I ended up doing a little under a tablespoon, which for some of them ended up being the perfect amount, and for some it wasn't enough. So if you have an ice cream scoop, a small ice cream scoop, it might be better to measure. I was eyeballing this and it did work out just fine. The next instruction said to go in with a spatula to spread the edges all the way up and around to make that half dome shape. But my spatula was much too large and I didn't have a mini spatula, so I ended up grabbing, you'll see this in a second, it's basically a cream cheese or butter spreader. It has very round, dull edge, and it ended up doing the job just fine. So I'm going to use this to try to spread the chocolate all the way around the mold so that it is not just sitting on the bottom, bringing it up to the sides as thick as I can. don't judge my freezer tray. I would have put parchment on it, but I don't have any right now. I'm gonna put these guys into the freezer for about 15 minutes. I have no idea if this is too little or too much chocolate. I did about almost a tablespoon in each. We'll see. So it's been 15 minutes and I think they're ready to pop out. Okay, so my molds are out of the freezer and now I think I'm supposed to turn them inside out. I'm scared. Oh. Do I just push them? Oh, okay, okay. So I would say that about 80% of my chocolate made it, but the ones that were super thin were really hard to get out of the molds and did end up shattering. Now it's time to add my hot chocolate peppermint mix into each of the cups, and I'm going to add a little snowman marshmallow and some sprinkles on top. So my thought process here was that I was going to melt the rim of the top of the chocolate cup and then seamlessly put it on, but they did not align the way I wanted to. So what I ended up doing was taking the top, attaching it best I could, and then in perhaps the sloppiest way possible, adding a seal of melted chocolate around this, and then I dipped this into sprinkles to make them look festive. I do think they came out super cute. This is not the most professional way of sealing a chocolate bomb, but I don't think the added chocolate is a bad thing. I broke one, but I'm gonna add hot milk to it and test it as my version while the others are in the freezer. Okay, so this is the broken one. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Wow, that's really good. It's very smooth. The peppermint is a really nice touch. That's delicious. Okay, so now we're going to wrap these. And I don't think I have to keep them in the fridge, but I'm going to just until they go to preschool tomorrow. So I have these food safe bags from Walmart, and I'm gonna put 2 gently into the bottom. They're very fragile. Again, I feel like if they were bigger, they would be less fragile. I'm also gonna sprinkle some of the snowman marshmallows in as just an added touch. And then use the little twist ties that these come with. And the finishing touch is the bag. So I have like 3 different bags. I'm just gonna put one of these in a piece of tissue paper, really gently. Kind of shimmy it down into the bag. And then for each bag, I'm going to adhere. Aren't these cute? These like circle wreath candy canes. I have made these little gift tags. Well, I didn't make them, I bought them. They're for each of Callie's teachers, and then Callie signed each of them. And by the time this video goes live, they'll already have received these gifts, so it's not a spoiler. How cute is that? Let me wrap up the other 3. So that's it. I would say that hot chocolate bombs are messy, fun to make, and a little time consuming, but not hard. Especially if you had the bigger molds, I really do think that these would be a lot easier to do. And I think if you make the top thicker, I have a second batch going right now just for us, but I think if you made the top thicker, they would pop out a little more easily, and then you could even use the frying pan trick to melt that top down to get them to sit. Although I really like the way that the colors came out circled around each. I think it makes them look very festive. If you make these for the holidays, Christmas, New Year's Eve, will you let me know? Tag us on Instagram at the Fairy Tale Family. Thank you so much for being here. We have one more video this week for you as part of our Christmas holiday video collection. And then we'll be taking a break for a little bit and coming back strong in 2021. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I hope you have a magical holiday season. Bye.